Welcome to Your Capital What's Up. I'm Chuck Wiger, your area state senator. Thank you very much for watching. Today we're going to talk about jobs, economic development, and specifically the initiatives that are being done in North St. Paul. North St. Paul, a place where I was born as well as my parents, it's been going through a lot of challenges like many communities throughout our state and our country, and doing what they can to attract jobs, to revive the economy. And North St. Paul has taken a leadership role in this by forming an economic development authority, and they've hired an economic development coordinator, and her name is Kim Ann. And Kim Ann is joining us today. Welcome to our show, Kim.
Thank you, Senator Wiger.
Good. Well, I think I got the title right. You're
You
the
did.
economic development coordinator for North St. Paul. I believe the city, after going through a lot of discussion about its future and the growth and the visioning that they wanted to do, they said we need to turn this around a bit, and an economic development authority was formed, and they said we need to hire someone to assist in that effort. Obviously many people are a part of the team, but you're one of the main persons that's involved in working with the city manager. But tell us a little bit about your role as the economic development coordinator for North St. Paul.
Well, first of all, I'll go back to the organization of the EDA, which
Okay.
is Economic Development Authority, and it took 18 months for a community task force to look at the problems and the weaknesses and strengths of North St. Paul, and then with that culmination of information, they decided to have an Economic Development Authority as opposed to a commission.
Mm-hmm.
So an authority has the right to be able to purchase and manage land, as well as negotiate deals.
Okay.
And normally an EDA is part of a city council. So a city council at times will have the HRA as well as the EDA powers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is separated out in the city of North St. Paul as an economic development authority. We do have a board of 7. And so we have a chair and vice chair and set up, like a board.
Okay.
And then my position.
And this was something that the city council and the mayor, obviously they had worked together and coming up with the idea to do this. And
Correct, yeah. The city council, mayor, as well as area business owners.
yes.
Yes. So a lot of feedback from the business owners and a few property owners as well.
Okay.
So.
And what are some of the main projects or initiatives, concerns, opportunities that you're looking at right now?
My position as an economic development coordinator, what I did the first year is help organize the EDA. I mean, it's a birthing of an organization.
Yes.
So, and everybody understanding what their roles are and understanding the environment of North St. Paul before we can undergo, some tasks and projects. We need to understand what we were working with.
Mm-hmm.
So we started in 2010, mm-hmm. and during the first half year we were going through that organizational composition and understanding of who we are and what roles do we play, such as an EDA sometimes handles workforce development. Well, we don't need to do that because we do have Positively Minnesota DEED program mm-hmm. in North St. Paul, so we don't need...
DEED, the state program for the Department for Economic Development and Employment, Economic
Yes,
Development.
yes.
Okay. Which is, the commissioner is a local person, Mark Phillips from Oakdale.
Yes.
Spouse of Petty, so it's a small world, the superintendent.
So, so we don't need to address the workforce because we do have that. It's a wonderful asset in our community.
Yes.
So, so we're looking at land development and business improvements and attraction, mm-hmm. and so that way we can start building up a stronger tax base in our commercial, industrial taxes. Okay.
So the Economic
properties.
Development Authority, they brainstorm, put together ideas, and would you like to mention who the chair, vice chair are right now?
Sure. Okay. Right now, the chair is Jerry Bell.
Okay, who we all know, lifelong resident.
Lifelong resident.
President of the Twins, and Also a former employee, a long time back, but Jerry has the deepest of roots and of pride for North St. Paul, and a great choice to be chair.
Definitely. And right now our vice chair spot is open. And then our treasurer is Robert Dew. Anybody who is on the board needs to either be, well, they have to have a business background, business ownership, organizational skills in financial matters.
Yes.
And they need to be either a resident of North St. Paul or a business owner, property owner of North St. Paul.
Okay.
So so Robert Dew is our treasurer, and he owns a business in North St. Paul, Dew Corporations and Development. And then we have Dan Regan, who is also a lifelong resident in North St. Paul, and he's Air Lake Development, and so he understands commercial industrial development as well. So, and then the last of our residents on the board would be Kristen Reeser, who is a resident, and she has served on several committees at different commissions. And she has a background in real estate development, and right now her and her husband own a manufacturing company in Hudson called Hudson Baking Company. So, I mean, just
a very talented mix of background and experience. And so they work with the city council, the mayor, the city manager, and you in formulating a plan. And you've had some, a number of contacts. I know you're all over recruiting, talking to people. Tell us about the first year and a half or so of the experience, some of the highlights and things to be done yet.
Sure, Senator. We'll start off with the way that our commission is broken down is we have 3 different areas that we have subcommittees to. So we have a redevelopment committee, and then we have Grow North St. Paul, which is attending to our businesses, and then we have the promotional marketing side. So like I said, over the first year it was a matter of organizing the EDA, and then we started up the business retention and expansion program, which is part of the Grow North St. Paul. So we're getting out and attending to the businesses by, letting them know that we're there, letting them know that, we have some financial lending programs that are available. And also...
That's very important to let the current businesses there, you want to retain who you have.
Well, up to 85% of businesses that are there, they can recruit other businesses. So, it's that word of mouth type advertising. So if we can show support, and we want to retain our businesses and have them be strong, so it isn't just a matter of leveraging who they know, but it's a matter of assisting them to be a stronger business in our community.
Could you just profile the businesses that are in North St. Paul right now?
Right now, we do, for our manufacturing sector, which is approximately 30% of our industrial sector, that would be more on the lines of clean manufacturing, and that would be the plastic injection molding, and then also, we have construction, which isn't so clean, but very necessary.
Absolutely.
As Mr. Shifsky says, it's a dirty business, but everybody needs us.
That's right.
So, and we have strong manufacturing industry. They're doing well even in this economy, and looking at the forecasts for manufacturing, it's getting stronger. So as far as some of the national trends, they're showing that manufacturing is on its way back. So that's really good. And usually, they're a larger producer as far as jobs and stability in our community. And then we do have very heavy-duty service-oriented, which means the financial and real estate and personal care services. So that would be about 65% of our industry.
Okay, and then how for the downtown, how would you characterize the mix of businesses, of retail and bars and restaurants?
Sure.
And there's not that many communities that have a downtown, especially in the suburbs.
Right, and an original downtown as well. So it has that character of culture and you know, synergy, you know, of people of the past and you know, just a lot of personality in our downtown.
How do you pitch that?
Right now, it's easy to pitch as far as being, you know, that small town, hometown feeling, and our business retention visits help us with that pitch, because they let us know why they're in North St. Paul. And they're in North St. Paul because, number one, fantastic location. You can't beat our location as far as being, you know, hooked up to the Beltway and 35 and being able to connect to the Twin Cities, but also the nurturing. I mean, when a business comes in, I mean, the nurturing that they get from other businesses and strong support. I mean, you don't have to promote the buy local program. It just happens in North St. Paul. And so there's a lot of camaraderie. One of our businesses relocated to the downtown district because of the camaraderie. And that's one thing. Our environment is fantastic for startup businesses because leases are inexpensive. You can get into a good space. There's a lot of office space and retail space, minimal retail space, but a lot of office space still in North St. Paul, in our downtown area. And like I said, it's a synergy. You know, a lot of things happening in our downtown when it's orchestrated as far as community events.
Do you coordinate with the public sector? There's a lot of public jobs as well, particularly the school district. And is there the opportunity to
collaborate?
Leverage that, collaborate? You've got Century College, of course, nearby that provides a lot of training for jobs that might be in
well, actually, I have proposed something to Century College. I went to their marketing department as well as their art department to see what we can do as far. It's an age of collaboration, you know, with our resources. You have to collaborate. So I approached them and said, would you be interested in using our downtown as a live lab for your students? And so their marketing students can choose certain businesses. When the businesses meet with the students, they get a feel for who they work well with. And the students from the outside to the inside, you know, look at the street presence and then go in and, you know, let them know what the environment does when they come in. You know, is it an established environment for good pricing, good positioning, you know, branding, and you know, the 4 Ps of the marketing field. So that should be. I'm working on that right now, and then also the graphics students. You know, just have them come down and work with the business owners again on sandwich boards and other things that create a better street presence. And you know, that's something that we can do right now, even though we don't have the capital for the redevelopment of our streets. You know, for capital improvement of the infrastructure and the streetscaping. So that's, you know, one angle I'm working with, and it's a short term, you know, something that we can do now. With the medium term being designing our downtown and making ready for having improvements to our downtown, major overhaul basically of our streets, because it's so old, the infrastructure is so old. Yeah,
you mentioned, you know, some of the freeways and others, but you've got to take care of the local access points, and that whole infrastructure is important in recruitment, of course.
And then we have the Gateway Trail.
The Gateway Trail, and we're very proud of that. And,
our trailhead is we're breaking ground here in about a month. So
we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely.
And now the neighboring communities, they also want to recruit businesses, but is it competitive amongst the communities, or are you able to cooperate? Something tells me that, you know, you can all create a win-win, at times.
Well, Oakdale once in a while gives me a call and says, hey, there's somebody that's interested, but
Okay.
but it's something that really doesn't fit into our plan.
Okay.
So just some outdoor space, you know, outdoor
Okay.
storage and stuff like that.
Okay. Well,
So thank you, Oakdale. But right now, I don't feel those pressures because the dynamic of North St. Paul is so very different. We do stand out from being that suburban, you know, city. Businesses who invest in North St. Paul, they want to be part of a small town. And it's very wonderful to see, you know, like Atrium, they're, you know, they want to be involved in anything that's going on.
And for our viewers that don't know about the Atrium story, you want to give a quick thumbnail sketch of what they do?
Atrium is a homegrown business in North St. Paul, and they do semiconductor testing of semiconductors. They hire anywhere between 35 to 65 employees, depending on the economy. And what they do is they
very good wages.
Excellent wages.
Yes.
And they produce equipment that tests electronic devices and semiconductors and stuff. So they've been around for, I think, 18 years.
Yeah,
something
close
like
to that. And and for people that don't know, right near Margaret and 36 and the south west quadrant, I guess, and
it's right behind Bigley Auto.
Right behind Bigley, right?
Yes.
And so there are a lot of success stories that you can only try to develop and have those visits that you mentioned, getting out and sharing with them.
Over the last year, since I've been there, and it's not attributed to me, but we've had 10 businesses come into North St. Paul.
Excellent.
10.
Okay.
But
it's not being attributed to you. But you've had your fingerprints on it.
I've had my fingerprints on it.
Okay, well,
it's definitely a tribute to the business owners that have decided to come into North St. Paul and make it happen. Okay.
Now, there's different parcels, areas that we read about from time to time that you are actively involved in. Tell us a little bit more about that vision and what you'd like to see over the next few years. And
right now, that's what I'm working on right now. And I would say that's the primary purpose of this year, for the first half of this year, is to take our comprehensive plan that has, you know, a grand idea for the McKnight 36 corridor, which is our primary gateway.
Might say, excuse me, the comprehensive plan, it's a plan that the city ultimately puts together and submits to the Metropolitan Council, and it provides a vision for where they want to go, like a blueprint. And so, you know, people that want to see this, it's available online. I imagine go to the city website, and or they could come down to get it or visit the library. But you know, this has been thought out as to this plan, and you have to work on the details, but where the businesses might go and types of businesses that you want to recruit, it's being thought out with precision.
To a point, because the comprehensive plan is more of a visionary, so it leaves a lot open for those real detailed parts. So what I'm doing right now is getting together a proposal for the LCA for a pre-development grant.
And the LCA?
Livable Communities Act.
For those that aren't aware, in that program through the Metropolitan Council. Why is Livable Communities? What does that mean? And you're preparing to get some funding.
It's a pre-development grant that I'm preparing, so that way we take the 3 areas that you're referring to as far as those development areas, which is Anchor Block and the surrounding areas on McKnight. And then also if you swing down to east Gateway, which is where Burger King is on 36 and 120.
Yes.
Back in there where the old school bus garage is, we're calling that Commerce Park, that quadrant. And then our downtown, like I said, in about 5 to 8 years, we'd like to redevelop our downtown. And so to create a master plan that North St. Paul is just so small. It's you know, those areas I talked about are all within 3 miles.
Yes.
So when you enter North St. Paul, I want people to know that you are entering North St. Paul, not just another suburb. So if you take all 3 of these components and tie them together where they support each other instead of being competitive of each other, so you have a cohesive commercial area for North St. Paul. And to do that under a grand master plan. And so that's what the pre-development grant I'm looking for to subsidize having that done. And it'll be public participation and just getting the input of the property owners as well as business owners and North St. Paul residents.
Okay, so you're on the go all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and for those that don't know about your background, how does one prepare to be the economic development coordinator? What training is there, if there is such a profile for what you need to take?
Well,
there are some special programs.
There are some special programs. Here in Minnesota, it's a little bit more difficult than if you were in, say, Michigan, Indiana, because there's a lot of programs. There are very strong programs in economic development. The U of M has something here, but for a lot of people, because I've been at a few workshops and trainings across the country within the economic development community.
Yes.
People come from all different backgrounds with for the economic development. They come from the real estate developer, from a previous business owner that just got involved with the city and started enhancing their skills more, you know, for the city and economic development. And myself, I took a few classes for at St. Cloud State, and from there, just
classes in.
Well, I did graduate with community development degree.
Okay, so you got the degree. Okay, so that's
the community
very
development
important.
degree, which is more of a planner.
Yes.
And so my
So you
background.
can be a city planner, or that's the
Yes.
credential that many of them are going to have.
They could,
Okay.
but I'm finding out more and more people are coming from the real estate side because of the redevelopment areas.
Okay.
But prior to that, because I had gone back to school for that degree, is marketing and advertising. That was my background.
Okay.
And
very helpful, that mix of skills for what you're doing.
yes, and when it was at St. Cloud State under Kenton Robertson, Dr. Kenton Robertson, where I just fell in love with downtowns and planning with downtowns and Main Street programs, which is now coming back to Minnesota, the Main Street program.
Where did you work then before you were recruited to North St. Paul?
I had worked in 3 previous cities. I started off in Fridley, and I worked with their comprehensive plan and worked with some of their businesses there.
Okay.
And that's where I started cutting my teeth, working with businesses. And then from there I was with the administration over in Medina, city of Medina. And I was there for a year, assisted, they just received an award from LCA.
Yes.
And I worked on that project that they received that award for. And then Oakdale. I worked with Oakdale and worked with Bob Streeter there. And
well, that's why you got the good referral on the, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously you knew this area, and there's only so many hours in the day, but I understand you have family as well.
I do.
So that keeps you busy. Tell us a little bit about the kids.
I have 3 children, a daughter who's 19, and then my son, Mikhail, he's 16, going to be 17 here real soon, and then Caleb, who's 15. And Caleb really keeps me busy because he's a wrestler and wrestles at state and at national level. So we've been having fun traveling doing that. But Mikhail keeps me busy as well with his football.
Well, good. Well, it's good to have that balance as well, to the extent we all work on that. So
yes.
Good. And for people that want to learn more about the development opportunities, or just questions, ideas, concerns, could they contact you?
They definitely can. Yes, my number is 651-747-2423.
Okay, and we're going to go a little slower. 651.
651-747-2423. And if there's anybody, including residents, if they want to start off in the business, an entrepreneur, they can contact me and I can get them lined up with some financing, because it's really tough for small businesses to get the traditional financing from the banks. And so we've been able to line up financing strategies to assist businesses.
And I'll vouch for that. I know that they called, that you're going to follow up, and that's why the city hired you. And that's why there's the results of businesses coming in, and so there is the return on that, but it does require a lot of work, and you know, by yourself, by the city leaders, by the volunteers serving that you mentioned, and you know, with that type of leadership, I'm sure those goals will be accomplished. Any predictions over the next couple of years as to what you think is going to happen?
I do believe we'll be filling our spaces. We do have a couple more retail spaces that are open, and then also office space, and we will be filling those. I do believe so. Okay,
so they're going to be filled. We're going to keep our eye on the prize,
filled.
and if you want to come to North St. Paul, you better get a reservation. So
I'll take those reservations.
Okay. Kim Ann, Economic Development Authority Coordinator for North St. Paul, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Senator Wiger.
And viewers, I invite you to contact Kim if you have questions, recommendations. She'll follow up. If you'd like to contact me about anything, my number at the Capitol is 651-296-6820, or my cell, 651-770-0283. For Your Capital What's Up, I'm Chuck Wiger. Thank you very much for watching.